The hip-hop agenda was laid out by Obama during his last presidencies purposely. That's why they had Tupac killed, because when they killed him, you gain fame. When people, your record sales go up, and then people listen to your lyrics and everything, and then you become famous, okay? That's how they do it, all right?
The dramatic shootout between police and an intruder at the Trump National Doral Hotel in Miami. A firefight captured on police body cam as the video shows officers carefully climbing the stairs, where suspected gunman 42-year-old Jonathan Audi was arrested.
I had sex with Cassie and sh0t. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters.
Okay. What do you want them to know about the man that you know?
He didn't bring anyone in. If he was following the case, and I'm quite sure you have, Chris, Cassie brought the people in. Cassie, that's what she did. So a sex worker never said that sh0t brought them anywhere, did anything. And as far as being scared, that's just mind-boggling to me. I don't believe that at all. Everybody was willing, consenting adults.
If you have it, pull it up, or I will kill you, and he will kill you again. The he being Sean Diddy Combs. This is some of Cassie's testimony about the guy you just saw in the medical smock talking crazy. That's Jonathan Audi, the guy who popped up in 2018 saying he had been Diddy's SEX slave.
And I heard a lot. Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever he called it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you're my brother, so I like black people.
His crazy stories vindicated at the trial. Cassie had to admit that, yes, this was one of the male escorts hired to service her, and she threatened him with that statement, if you pull it up, I'll kill you, and he'll kill you again, meaning Diddy. She discovered that Audi had tape recorded, or not tape recorded, but used his phone to record one of their encounters.
We are now talking about Jonathan Audi and his apparent connection to Sean Diddy Combs, because there is quite the update we got to talk about. Going to give you a little bit more context about who he is. So who is he? Well, Jonathan Audi is the former stripper who was taken into custody. The Florida State Attorney's Office says that Audi fired shots in the lobby toward the chandelier, then draped a giant American flag across the front desk. He also apparently got into this shootout with police officers. According to the Miami-Dade court, Audi faces 10 charges, multiple counts of attempted murder, aggravated assault, burglary. There hasn't been a lot of activity regarding his criminal case. One of the last times we talked about him was whether there was going to be a possible plea. We checked the court records. There are like literally more than 800 docket entries, and it appears they just keep resetting a status conference every month. So kind of unclear what the status of his criminal case is, but by all accounts, it appears he's still locked up. But you put that to the side. Here's the thing about Jonathan Audi and his connection to Diddy.
So how did Audi even pop onto the radar? That's right. Back in 2018, he ran on the Donald Trump-owned golf course there in Florida, and he put a flag on the front counter and he exchanged gunshots.
I had settlement with sh0t, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country. All right.
So this guy, Audi, has been in custody in the Miami County Jail, basically, since 2018. I mean, Trump was the president when this went on, and of course, going to some property the sitting president owns and getting to a shootout is not apt to look good for you in a court of law. On the stand, Cassie confirmed that it was her on the recording. Recall that she just didn't trust Audi. It makes Adi's claim he had sex with Cassie more than a dozen times a little more believable. Wow. So this remember this way. If you remember in 2018, this surfaced and it was treated like a joke. Here's this crazy man that ran into Donald Trump's golf course, had a shootout, and said he was Diddy's sex slave. Right? How about that's a crazy person talking, right? Well, no. I just can't. This is mind-boggling. So I'm one of those people that, as far as looking at the evidence so far, I mean, I think Diddy is a super bizarre and probably a bad person. I don't know if this is a RICO case yet. We'll see. But it kind of goes to show, I always tell people, therapists will tell you, like, sex addiction is just like drug. Like, if you're seeking some final peace or happiness or from sex, well, you're not going to get it. Now, making love to someone you care about, maybe, but like increasingly bizarre and hardcore drug-fueled sex, you're just going to need more and more of it. You're going to need crazier and crazier things to get excited. He, as you see, Audi said Diddy would himself while watching. And oddly enough, Audi, if you wonder why his accent is a little weird, he's South African. Which, I don't know, does that add to weirdness? Here's some photos of Adi's. There's the flag he threw over the desk at the hotel. There's him licking shots at the security. So, yep, Cassie admitted that she was with this crazy person. Now, as for him talking about, now, you hear him, so there's Audi talking about different lawyers, Geragos and Ben Meiselas. Now, Ken Meiselas, or however it's pronounced, M-E-I-S-E-A-L-S, Meiselas, I'm going to call him. Ken Meiselas was Diddy's longtime attorney for 20-some years at William Morris Endeavor, the biggest talent agency. The idea that he didn't know the type of things Diddy was getting into, come on now. And his son, here's a picture of Ben Meiselas, Ken's son, doing an internship, and then he's now a lawyer. Mark Geragos, who Audi accuses of ODing Michael Jackson. Geragos was briefly Michael Jackson's attorney. He was also Scott Peterson, if you remember, that was the white suburban guy who got put on death row for offing his wife. He was handling both of those cases at once, and Michael Jackson fired him, and then Jackson OD'd. So this guy's saying that he was, well, Cassie has admitted that she had sex with him. So Audi was around him. Audi says he overheard a lot of phone calls. Diddy's always on the phone. So now he's saying Geragos, who was Jackson's attorney, briefly helped OD him and cover it up. Remember that doctor, that black Dr. Conrad Murray? He got a couple years for manslaughter, but Geragos is not on Diddy's defense team, but his daughter Tenny is. So it's all the same cast of characters. And one thing, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, for the record, just repeating. One thing I learned from my study of gangster stuff, lawyers, like, remember if you've seen Carlito's Way, one of the great movie roles, Sean Penn as David Kleinfeld, the lawyer who was based on a lawyer named Gino Galenti, who was gunned down in New York in the late 70s, who did mob stuff, who may have had $1 million of Frank Matthews money, who stole money from Frank Lucas. Anyways, lawyers are the great unindicted co-conspirators, to me, of a bunch of cases. Not saying this case, I'm not accusing any of these people of anything. I'm just saying, in general, I don't think people that are as on the ball as these high-powered lawyers could be servicing these people as clients for decades and not having any idea what they're doing. Now, Ben Meiselas worked as an intern for Puffy. Okay, Audi said he got $800 each time. Sometimes he'd call me twice. Even 3 hours later, he'd call me to come back. So this is clearly drug frenzy stuff. I mean, not only you paid a man to come wham your girl, you 3 times you're calling him to come back. This is what people do. The dope man comes over, and they call him back 2 hours. I come back, we need more. Audi said he feels badly for Ventura, whom he called a decent person. Another interesting thing. So Jonathan Audi also claimed in a News Nation interview with Combs that he settled with Sean Combs 2 years before the LA incident. So in 2016, which is coincidentally the same year as the video of Diddy kicking Cassie at the Intercontinental, he got $5 million to turn over videos of their X-rated sessions. There was, Audi, okay. Alleged Trump Doral gunman Jonathan Audi went from dead broke to property buying spree in 1 month. So back in 2018, when he did the incident and he said all the stuff with all these lawyers' names and Diddy's names, and you heard him call Rick Ross gay, DJ Khaled's gay, DJ Khaled supports Hamas. It all sounds crazy, but not when you know that he really did do what he did with Cassie. Okay, so Jonathan Audi's 6-year marriage dissolved in August 2014. He claimed to have a net worth of negative $1,800, so he's just a broke guy. He was making $2,000 a month as a self-employed fitness trainer, he swore. So he's getting divorced, just another loser in Florida, working as a personal trainer, probably at some gym, making $2,000 a month. Less than a month after his divorce from attorney Tanya Troutline, so he was married to a lawyer.
So why did I play that? Well, according to the Daily Mail and the New York Post, Jonathan Audi may have in fact signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement with Sean Combs, signing this in exchange for $5 million. And apparently, there is a picture of an NDA signed in 2014 that has surfaced. According to the report, you can see Combs' signature on it. It says, over Sean Combs, individually on behalf of Bad Boy Worldwide, Sean John Enterprises. There's a signature there. And Audi went on to apparently tell authorities, my settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because I was going to be sued. They kept following me, he reportedly also said. And he also said this.
I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But they did Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leons here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so.
So he divorces her, and he spent $765,000 to buy 5 investment properties over a 2-month period. And records show none of the properties were purchased with a mortgage, suggesting they were cash purchases. So where did a fitness trainer who was worse than flat broke in August 2014 acquire enough cash in September 2014 to start buying properties? He said he got $5 million from Diddy. Diddy gave Cassie $20 million. That's what came out in court. She had admitted. So now, knowing all that's true, when you hear him say all this other crazy stuff about Tupac and Rick Ross, and I'm not someone who promotes the Tupacs and Cuba theory, but he was in the household with Diddy, and he was hearing him talking on the phone, and the fact that he knows these lawyers' names, these are not people. Garagos was kind of famous. Meiselas, you wouldn't know who those people were unless you were I only know because I was looking it up. I'm researching it. You're in the household with Diddy. He's talking to his lawyer. This guy Audi overheard a lot. Now, the Meiselas father, who coincidentally was introduced to his most recent wife by Diddy. Here's a picture of them. Dropped him as a client when all this stuff started. Oh, and he made a profit. He bought him for $765,000 and sold him 18 months later for $934,000. So yeah, looks like Jonathan Audi did get millions. Cassie threatened him. See, this whole thing of Cassie just being a victim. I mean, she is a victim on one sense, but then she was helping to victimize others, like the male escorts.
Cassie brought the people in. Cassie, that's what she did. So a sex worker never said that Sean brought them anywhere, did anything.
If Diddy's a human trafficker, isn't she? So anyways, this is pretty damn weird. This is actually the strangest thing about the whole case, if you ask me. So this was, again, this guy ran into when Trump was president in 2018, ran into his golf course, got into a shootout. Cassie admits they were paying him $800 per session. He had about 15 encounters, as he calls them. He said he was overhearing their phone calls. He knows all their lawyers' names. He's talking about Rick Ross is gay too. Khaled is gay. They're all part of this gay Illuminati and the boule.
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Khaled is a Hamas supporter.
Now, this sounds like stuff you read on the internet, so you could say, well, this is just the rantings of a crazy person, which it certainly could be. But yet, he really was being paid for penis by Diddy and Cassie and getting high with them and was in their house and was overhearing stuff. And it looks like he got paid out some millions by Diddy, which he used to buy property.
And he had an American flag that he did drape over the counter. That all was, part of the investigation. We're going to take it from there and see what his real motives are and how far we get into that.
Truth is not only stranger than fiction, it's slimier and more disturbing. This is so like, All right, can you listen to bad boy music anymore? I don't know. I could listen to Biggie, but I ain't listening to no shiny sh0t Mace. Stevie J. All right, our profit. That's it. So, Weirdoville update on the Diddy Puff and Cassie case. I think they were co-traffickers. And this is a real, maybe all the conspiracy thing is true of like people like Diddy and Epstein, like they end up serving as like the freak off masters for all the other rich people. And then here's the thing about corruption. Like you think, well, if they had all these famous people, why is he in trouble? Well, it's like everything in life. Like we're all allowed to do a certain amount of stuff. You can't just do anything. I'm very well loved in Detroit. I could get away with probably a fair amount of different kind of stuff in Detroit. I mean, if a bunch of children came forward and said Al Prophet was messing with children, nobody would protect me from that, right? If I shot the mayor in broad daylight, nobody's going to protect. There's limits to what you can do, and they can't always protect you. You end up on the front page, too much stuff comes out. So, I'll just leave it with this.
So I jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk and I blew the shot in the air. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of France. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever he calls it. So he gets this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the boule.
Now, anytime I see some weirdo pop up in the news claiming this, that, and the third about a famous person, I'm going to think about, because I remember when this came out and people were like, oh, Al up Diddy. And I was like, Diddy had some middle-aged white man as a sex slave. This just can't be true. And yet it is. Our prophet